everyone. This is Dr. Serelda from the Married to My Purpose podcast, where we talk about real stories, real conversations, and real experiences of being married to your purpose. And today is no different. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm sure you noticed my sash. I am the reigning Miss 2025 Corporate America, Louisiana. And I am representing the title in Orlando in less than 30 days. And I'm going to be competing against 23 other young ladies across the 54 states and territories as they represent their states. I'll be representing my home state of Louisiana. But that is not what we're talking about tonight specifically. But I do want to kind of talk about something that is very, very important based off of me actually wearing this crown and donning the title of Miss Louisiana Corporate America, and that is having a real experience. How many times in our lives do we do things? We're just doing things, but we're not embracing the experiences. I had no plans at 49 years old to go back into the pageant circuit. The last pageant that I actually competed in was in 2000. I was a second lieutenant in the United States Army in Fort Bliss, Texas, El Paso for the non military folks. Okay. And it was an amazing experience. However, I didn't have children. I didn't have a job. Technically, I had just started my job, but I didn't have a career at that point. I was competing in a pageant with a going in the military. I'm a second lieutenant. I'm going to my first job, and I'm actually competing in a pageant. At that time, I was 23. Now I'm 49. That was a long, 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 long time ago. But what I want you to remember today is real experiences are important. Why are real experiences important? Well, number one, it continues to remind you of who you are and how you have evolved. The way that I competed in the pageant at 23 is not the same way that I'm competing in this pageant at 49 years old. How can we apply that lesson to our lives today? Because our experiences shape us. Our experiences, my experience of participating in this pageant and competing in this pageant in June, is actually going to teach me things about the 2025 Serelda. Not the 2000 Serelda, not the 23-year-old Serelda, but the 49-year-old Serelda. The 49-year-old Serelda that was single with a boyfriend in 2020 and at 23 years old, but now here at 49 years old, I'm single, divorced with no companion. I'm bringing two different experiences to the table. Listen, in between those two pageant titles, I've had to give myself grace. And one of the things that I want you to remember from this real experience is understanding that you have to give yourself grace, and you are not the same person you were 25 years ago. You're not. And if you're trying to compare yourself to the person that you was 25 years ago, you're gonna continue to fail. You're gonna continue to fail. Why? Because at the age of 23 in 2020, I would not in a million years have competed in a pageant of this caliber 25 years ago. Why? Because I didn't have a lot that I felt I needed to talk about. Did I have life experiences at that point? Absolutely. But my life experiences, once again, at 23 are not the same as they are at 49. Okay, so make sure when you are going through the experiences of life, ensure you're giving yourself space and grace. Okay, number one, give yourself space and grace. And I want you all to put in the chat space and grace. Okay, number two, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for being too hard on yourself. Okay, there are so many things about me that I want to change. There are so many things about me that I thought would not be where they are today. I didn't expect to be divorced. Some days I don't give myself grace to begin again. Sometimes I get choked up. And then other days I'm like, listen, I deserve to be loved. I can love again, and I will love again. That's my affirmation, at least one of them. Of course, my most favorite affirmation is Philippians 4 and 13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. There's another one. Give yourself space and grace. Forgive yourself. That's number one. That's number two. Number three, you have accomplished 100% of the things that you've tried because you're still here. You might not have gotten the results that you wanted, but you have accomplished 100% of the things that you have tried because you're still here. You are still here. So understand, if you're still here and you're listening to this, you can try it again. I want someone to put in the chat, I can try it again. I have the opportunity to begin again. I have the opportunity to give myself permission to love again and to be loved. I have permission to let people into my life. I have permission to compete for a pageant at 49 years old. What am I doing? Lord, help me. It's coming. Now, let's be clear. Give you a quick background. I've done pageants before, not only the pageant in 2000, but I was in the Miss America circuit for quite a while when I was in college. So the mechanics of pageants, yeah. Can I be coachable? Am I still teachable? Absolutely. Just because we have an experience in a thing does not mean we cannot be coached or taught something new. You have accomplished 100% of everything that you have gone through because you are still here. Number one, space and grace. Number two, forgive yourself. And number three, you have accomplished 100% of the things that you have accomplished, that you have gone through because you're still here. Number four, breathe. I know that sounds silly, but sometimes we don't stop to smell the roses. We know we've heard that quote so many different times. We have to stop to smell the roses. For me, I have to stop long enough to understand that I survived a divorce, something I did not want to do. I have survived growing up feeling inadequate. I didn't ask for the lived experiences that I went through as a child, even as an adult, even as in the professional workspace, but I'm still here. Breathe, inhale, exhale, all of that. It sounds cliche, it sounds simple, but it works wonders when you're stressed, when you're depressed, when you don't want to be bothered, when you're like, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do it. It's okay to breathe. Number one, space and grace. Space and grace. And I want you all to tell me in the chat, what are those things you're going through? What are those things that are plaguing you in this moment? What are those things that are not allowing you to forgive yourself? What are those things that are allowing you to say, I can't do it when you've already accomplished 100% of the things that you have gone through? What are those things that have you uptight, not right, and ready to fight? What are those things? What are those things that are saying to you, I tried that already and I can't do it? Number five, try it again and do it scared. Try it again and do it scared. Sometimes we think because we have to try again that it's a failure because we had to go back. Try again and do it scared. Every piece of the puzzle you will not have when you start whatever it is. You won't have it. I've seen so many of my friends on social media this week that are talking about, I've got to get it together. I'm going to work on this. I need to talk to that person. Why don't you start with what you have? Author Ash said, Start where you are, do what you can, and use what you got. You got to go through the first door in order to get to door 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. My chapter 1 could be your chapter 25. My chapter 1 could be your chapter 25. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, I may have gone through experiences that have made me so comfortable and confident in being able to step out right now in this moment. Whereas for you, you're like, I've been there, done that. I'm not doing it anymore. Or we flip it and say, you know what? I'm just starting off. Sorella, how did you go through this? And you can share those experiences. Don't compare your chapters. You may be in chapter 1, I may be in chapter 25 in one area of my life. I could be in a chapter 1 when it comes to, I don't know, refining business plans, scaling the profits. I could be in chapter 1 of that. You could be in chapter 25. Understand the chapter that you are operating in and do not be upset that somebody else is in a different chapter. I know friends that I have right now who would dare not talk about competing in a pageant, let alone at 49 years old. But here I am, evolving, constantly re-imaging myself. Re-image yourself. I've given you some key nuggets. I've given you some key nuggets, folks. We have to understand that we can begin again. We have to understand that if we are still alive, we can continue to try. Now, I'm going to go down to Orlando and I'm going to compete in the Miss Corporate America 2025 pageant. Now, I'm just going to put my shameless plug in here. If you want to sign up to come and watch me compete, you can definitely come to Orlando, Florida, or you can buy a virtual ticket as well. Put my shameless plug in there. Or you can vote for some of the things that I'm a part of in the pageant. But in all seriousness, understand there is nothing that you cannot do if you start and give it a try. Winning the pageant is not as important as winning the journey and the process as I lead up to the pageant. I get to meet different people. I get to meet people that are successful in their businesses, something that I aspire to continue to build upon. We can't stay in the same rooms with people that are could be struggling in an area just like us. We can't help each other if we're struggling in the same space where we want to excel and elevate. I want somebody to put in the chat, it's time to get in other rooms. It's time to get in other rooms. You've got to get up and start. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. You've got to get into other rooms if you want to continue to grow. So as I take my time to prepare for this pageant, I'm also taking my time to smell the roses. I'm also taking my time for space and grace. I'm also taking my time to forgive myself. I'm also taking my time to remember that I have accomplished everything that I've gone through. Everything. I'm also taking my time to breathe. And I'm also taking my time to use what I have and start, even if I have to do it scared. Why am I sharing this with you? Sitting here in my home, in my office studio with my sash on. Because I showed up. I've already won before I competed. Start visualizing those things that you want to do. I want somebody to put in the chat, I'm visualizing it before it happens. You visualize it before it happens and then it manifests because you've put in the work. And not only the physical work, but the mental work. You can do this. I'm going to do this. And guess what? For everyone listening to this, I don't know what your this is. I don't know what that is. You know what that is. Is it starting a business? Is it writing a book? Is it launching your podcast? Is it creating a studio for other people to come in and do their podcast? And now that's a source of income. We are living in a world where if you are not a business owner, you are leaving money on the table. That's a whole nother podcast. I may have to bring some friends on to talk about. And if you want to talk about it with me, you certainly can. Drop it in the chat. Send me an email at coachingthatcaresllc@gmail.com or go to my website, coachingthatcares.net. Folks, it's time for us to get moving. We have so much purpose sitting in a chair. We are doing absolutely nothing with it. Why? Nothing is stopping you. We are in a technological age. We are in a digital age. There are people making 6, 7 figures sitting just like I am in front of a computer. You are without excuse. You don't need to go buy wardrobe. Sometimes people are sitting on Zoom calls with a shirt on at the top and pajamas at the bottom, making 6, 7 figures. Is this about money? No, it's not. It's about fulfillment. It's about walking in your purpose, and it's about being married to your purpose. Listen, folks, thank you all for taking the time to listen to the reigning Miss 2025 Corporate America Louisiana. Thank you all for giving me a chance to wear my sash and do my first appearance virtually. Thank you so much. I want to thank Steve Howard and Howard Family Media Group for allowing me to record my podcast. And we will see you all next week. Thank you all so much. I hope you got some nuggets from this podcast session, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye now.